All right, so I came across a book. This has actually been on my list for, let's say I'm done with Amazon. This is gonna be a very hard relationship to break up, if I'm being honest. Like when it comes to stores, I look to see what the price is on Amazon. If it's cheaper, I'm not gonna lie. And it's only because, number one, now if I'm in that author's face and I see them and I have the money to buy it, I support it. I do support it. But I can't afford right now. I cannot. Thankfully, you don't have to buy music. Thankfully, I can stream. But when it comes to books, y'all, when y'all think about how many books are released a day, a week, a month, you cannot keep up. And I still have books on my shelf I still have not read from back in the day. Like I'm realizing, as much as I've read things by Sharon Draper, I still have not read Copper Sun. I still have not read, I don't remember Fire from the Rock. I taught it, but I don't remember it. I remember pieces of it. I across this one. This is by Kathlyn Kirkwood. And she said, this is my story of Martin Luther King Day. And it's written in verse. So I'm definitely probably gonna knock this out on one weekend, but they book fair that I'm doing. If you have not donated towards my book fair, yes, we have a list on Amazon. Probably next week I will try this, and I'm only doing 2 because I have enough books to do at least 2 events. But what I love about it is she was forwarded by Jacqueline Woodson. That should tell you something by itself. Matt De La Pena wrote a comment. Carol Boston Weatherford, who writes a lot of books, and Kip Wilson I'm not familiar with, but she basically, this is her telling her story through verse. So I look forward to just knocking this out. I'm already on page 58. Look how short that is. I love books like this. Like I have another book like that that's written in verse. But Acevito's books are written in verse. Kwame Alexander, all of his. The only one that's not written in verse is He Said, She Said. But this one right here is another biography, one girl's story in the fight of school equality, the promise of change. This was good. But what I liked about it, again, written in verse. See how short that is? So a reason why this is like part 2, part 3 of this video. If you have a child that struggles with reading, graphic novels or books written in verse are some of the best books for them to read because they're not overwhelmed by all the words on the page. Now, when the verse is too poetic for them, like I'll admit Street Love, as much as I love that book because it's written in verse, a lot of the kids struggle because it's very poetic at times. I didn't think it was, but that's the one who's read it and understood it. I've had kids who read it, did not understand it. I'm thinking about my kids who did understand it, they loved it, but they were higher level, okay? But Kwame Alexander is definitely one of those ones where it sounds like an extended rap verse. That's what I love about Kwame's books. So Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds. I will put pictures of these as I post this video. That is a good one that's written in verse that people get into, but again,